I would like to know what is wrong with a congressional district that would be where the voters are so stupid that they vote in dipshits posing as Democrats into Congress. Even so-called Democrats who are outright anti-Semitic, like that Rashida Tlaib or whatever the damn hell her name is. What is it about it? Are those districts so bereft of people who are actually qualified to run for Congress on the Democratic Party ticket that just anything off the street, no matter how stupid they are, no matter how divisive they are, no matter, again, how anti-Semitic they are, what is it about them? That's a question I have, and it's probably unanswerable. But anyway, Obama, and I'm not a fan of Barack Obama, okay? I will tell you right now that I did not vote for him for re-election when he ran in 2012. Of course, by that time, I had moved from Nevada to Oregon, and of course, Oregon is heavily blue, so I just went and voted third party, knowing that Obama was going to carry the state. If I had still lived in Nevada, I might have reluctantly, very reluctantly, voted for Obama for another term. But there was a reason I didn't vote for him, and that's because of his stand on education and that worthless piece of crap, Arne Duncan. And almost everybody's forgotten about Arne Duncan, but I haven't. And that was one of his very worst things that he did. He did a lot of damage to public education. And he's a private school brat that never went to a public school, I don't think, in his entire life. And he thought he knew more than teachers and people that work in the damn trenches. So I don't want to go off on Obama, but also his nonsense of thinking Title IX supports transgender nonsense. I mean, he made that shit up. He and his Justice Department or whatever literally made crap up, and I can't stand it when there are politicians on both sides of the fence that literally make shit up on policy. So that was two things, but the Title IX thing was less important because that was much later after he had been reelected. That was much less important than the fact he was destructive on public education. And that was a deal breaker for me for Obama. But anyway, I went off on a rant on Obama. But here, he's kind of, whatever you could call him, a senior statesman of the Democratic Party now. And so he's taken that damned idiots, those morons, they're on the squad, about their anti-police rhetoric. And I think it's about time. Because I don't think these women really and truly are Democrats. What they are Bernie Sanders groupies. Bernie Sanders, and yes, he's given a lot of lip service to Democrats, and he caucuses with the Democrats in the Senate, but he's a rat fucker. He always was a rat fucker. Every time he ran for president, he was a rat fucker. There's no two ways about it. And I saw through him pretty early on when he ran against Hillary Clinton. At first, I gave money to him, and I was immediately sorry I ever did it. So, anyway, he had a lot of groupies, and you'd find him on discussion boards and everything. And his groupies include the squad. I mean, how the hell else can you explain their idiot rhetoric about defund the police? They want to abolish the police. They were brainwashed in college with all this, I don't know, I can't remember what it's called, but there's the nonsense being spewed now by the POMO crowd, the postmodernist crowd, and the like, post-structuralist crowd, that, well, if you just give money to social workers. Now, not that the police don't already do that. Of course they already do that. That tells you how fucking stupid these people are that support this. But if you give money there and you work on rehabilitating and all this shit, then, well, it'll be better. No, the purpose of the police, the purpose of prisons is to not hold the hand of perpetrators. The purpose of it is both is to protect society. That's the purpose of it. And the nonsense is ruinous for women, because women, for obvious reasons, they're more vulnerable to violence. This is horribly sexist to women to say, well, let's put rapists in, to social workers. Just let them run loose so they can rape again. That kind of shit. But anyway, and I know I'm kind of off on little tangents here, but the Defund Police slogan was very, very damaging in House races. There's no doubt that it had a big effect. And Democrats didn't put on much of an argument there. But I would hear this anti-police shit from the late 1960s. And yes, there are problems with, obviously, as in any occupation, there's bad apples. But I would submit the reason there are bad apples is because it's hard to fill those jobs. But these fucking morons, I've heard them push to do away with qualified immunity and all kinds of stuff because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about when they're pushing this stuff. But I guarantee you do away with things like qualified immunity, you're going to even have a bigger shortage of police officers. You're going to have an even greater chance of mentally unstable people going into it. And I think I've mentioned in a video of mine previously about Antoinette Frank, who's on death row in Louisiana. But she was somebody, she had been a police officer, but she had flunked personality inventories that they routinely employ in police departments to make sure the mentally unstable aren't in there. But New Orleans had tons upon tons of shortages. So they took almost anybody off the street. And if you want to reform the police or defund it, or if you want to really do reforms, then you better find out how the hell to cure the shortages. Because you want the best people in there. You want people in there that know what they're doing, people who are not mentally unstable, people who don't have anger problems and can dissociate. Not get too personally involved, because that's probably the most important trait to have, because you can't do your job otherwise. But how are you going to do that if you make it to where they could be personally sued into bankruptcy? How is that going to help? How is that going to encourage anybody to go into the field? Your best and brightest. That's because these idiots like the Squad don't know what they're talking about. And furthermore, if you're talking about defunding the police and you lose seats in Congress about it, obviously you have a message issue. But these women are rat fuckers. And they're self-righteous. They think they're right. They're so convinced of their rightness. And they're young. They're stupid. And they haven't had enough experience in politics to know what in the hell they're doing. So that, every time I hear about those damn Squad women, especially the three, Talib and Omar, and that moron beyond belief, AOC, every time I hear that, I get triggered. It pisses me off. Because I know that they're not, and AOC has a narcissism problem. Really, a serious narcissism problem. But she's got cheerleaders on the lefty left, the woke left. So somebody like Obama that just says, you know, the messaging was fucked up. Well, he didn't say it that way. I mean, he's too polite. But then they just go back. And so I just wonder, I always wonder what in the hell what the hell their motive is. Or who's funding them. Who's really funding them. Yeah, it is a slogan, Omar. Defund the police is a slogan. And it's all this horse shit you've been taught in college. In this, you know, the post-structuralist shit that you're being taught. And I can't remember what the hell that is called. That they're teaching now with race relations. I wish I could think of it, but I can't since I'm doing this on the fly. But they're wrong. But of course, even as that did cost seats, I also think the pandemic also had an impact on the lost seats because the Democratic candidates respected the pandemic requirements where the Republicans did not. That happened with Donald Trump, and he went flitting all over the country where Joe Biden did not run a ground game. So I think that probably was at least as important as this anti-police horse shit by the woke left. But that's it.